What's up, my veggies? My name is VTR and welcome back to another movie review. And today we are reviewing probably one of the most anticipated movies within the past 10 years. Because people have been, not even 10, more than 10. People have been wanting this movie for years. But today we're going to be reviewing Godzilla vs. Kong. Not Godzilla vs. King Kong, that's a different movie from way back in the day. I don't even know where to start. Like, Godzilla vs. Kong is one of those movies that's like, you don't even, when you want to talk about it for the review, I don't know what to start with. Like, first things first is what I'll say, this is not like other versus movies. Where it's like, they fight in like one scene and the rest of the time it's like, we're not gonna fight. So this really sticks with that whole versus concept, and if you're going into this expecting two titans fighting it out, you're gonna get that. That's exactly what you're getting going into this movie. It is that, and it's hard to look at this movie from a critical perspective because it gave me exactly what I wanted. I wasn't expecting an elaborate story. I was expecting fights, and that's what we got. And like the thing with the human characters, obviously you gotta have those to help the narrative go along, but they know what you're here for. They're like, let's get through these human characters. Let's get to what you want to see. You know, with that Kong, with that Godzilla, and both of them get their own separate screen time available, like, to them. They get their own separate screen time. They get enough screen time individually for each one of them, and they both get a good equal. I think it's like a 3-ish fights, or is it 2?
I'd
say three fights.
Yeah.
Well, not 3 fight, like 3, like 2 and 3, like about 3 fights between.
I feel like, yeah,
between
like
them.
Two
between them, but then there's other fights.
Yeah.
We're not gonna give away much. We might get into some spoilers later in the video, but right now we're not gonna get into any spoilers. I want to get my general thoughts out there before I actually give away spoilers. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but at the same time, there's like something I want to talk about that I can't say because it's a spoiler. But I'll probably say it anyway after the rest of this video. But gosh, this movie, it's hard to look at this movie from a critical perspective, but I'll try. Some of the acting is very shoddy. Like, especially with one of the characters, the acting is like pretty hit or miss. This little girl character though, like, she doesn't even talk. It's all sign language with her. I'm pretty sure like she's deaf. She's like probably one of the best actors in the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then you got like these other, the girl that plays Eleven in Stranger Things is in this. And then there's I don't know the actor's name, but the guy that played the cop in, I think the Mike North thing is his name, something like that. And the Child's Play remake is also in, he's supposed to be this conspiracy theory type of guy, which normally that kind of character is highly annoying in movies.
I mean, it depends on how it's done and if it can be done right. And in my opinion, it definitely was done right in this movie.
At first, I was like, no, it's one of these characters. And then I was like, oh. And that probably helped with who was playing him, because this guy is a fun actor. He's got a lot of the comedy in this. There's not a lot in this movie, but most of the comedy comes from him. And I don't even think he's like meant to be like a comic relief or anything. There is a character that's put into the movie for. You could have cut him and really not missed much. The girl has like a friend. Like the girl played by the actor that plays Eleven in Stranger Things. She's like a friend. It's the kid played by the kid from Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
I don't know the actors' names. I'm sorry, but you could have cut him out completely and wouldn't have really missed anything. Now here's the question I know a lot of people are gonna ask: do I have to watch Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla King of Monsters first before you watch this. Yes and no.
Yeah. The way I see it is, it depends on what kind of person you are. If you are kind of in it for the lore and like you want to know what's going on, then yeah, you would definitely watch the previous movies first. But if you're the type of person that like you want to get to the fast action, you want to get to the versus, then you would definitely go and see Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, because you can do either one, but like I went into it having only seen the first Godzilla movie in this new I've seen like small bits of Kong Skull Island because my dad watched it like on repeat, and then I didn't see any of Godzilla King of Monsters, which is actually, I believe my disc of it is like sitting like right over here somewhere. Yeah, literally it's right here. It's literally right here and I haven't watched it yet. Like, it's legit. I have no excuse to not have seen this movie yet. And I saw the trailer, and then apparently this movie had a very bad box office because no one wanted to go see it because of the fact the Godzilla movie before it was so disappointing.
Yeah.
But like this movie, it's fast. It's bang, bang, bang. It's not like it doesn't dwell on anything. Like there is stuff, but the human characters, there's no subplot. I don't think there was like a single subplot in this movie. I don't think there was really because everything intertwined.
Yeah.
There wasn't like my marriage isn't working out or anything like that. None of that dumb crap that nobody wants to see with a movie like this. Those other, from what I know, the other movies have that. The other movies in this franchise, I know the first one had stuff like that. The first one definitely had stuff like that. And if I gotta get a few more critic notes out there, at some point the CGI doesn't look 100%. But, like, I'm not going to judge that too harshly because, like, it still looks good. It's still good CG.
Exactly.
Like, it's at the point with the CG where, like, you can tell it's CG. Obviously, you can tell it's CG. It's a giant freaking lizard fighting a giant gorilla.
Yeah. So are we, like, getting into, like...
Well, you want to give your initial thoughts, like your final thoughts before we get into that, like, without giving out any spoilers.
My final thoughts before spoilers is I definitely thought it was a good movie. If there was a couple of things, well, I wouldn't be able to say it, but I'm going to say like a couple of things that I would have liked to see when we get into the spoilers. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I only have a small amount of complaints, but that's pretty much it. Like it's just. With this type of movie, it gave me everything I wanted, so it's not like I have, like, a lot to really criticize on it, basically.
Oh, but my mind blanked. I heard everything you said, and my mind blanked, like, right at the end of that sentence. No, the movie is... I agree with a lot of that. I wouldn't usually do spoilers for a movie like this, because it's such a big movie, and there's something I want to talk about. And there's one big thing. If this thing was not in the movie, I probably would review this movie without spoilers. But since this is in the movie, I have to review it. And let me get my final thoughts. Let me get my final rating. It's not a perfect movie. Not gonna give that in the slightest. But it's very hard for me to give it anything lower than a 4. I gotta give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay, so now getting into spoiler territory. If you haven't seen the movie, click off now.
Or maybe you just want to watch the world burn and you like spoilers, so maybe if you haven't seen the movie and you like spoilers, you're probably going to watch anyways.
Yeah, so one thing that most people were expecting to see in this movie happened. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Mecha Godzilla.
Yes.
You weren't so sure what I was gonna say, did you?
Yeah, I kind of. It was like I kind of knew what you were going for, so I just went with my gut there.
Yeah, it was Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Yes, Mechagodzilla is in this. This actually got spoiled a while back, I think, with some toys, way before even a trailer or any footage of this movie was ever released. I think it was before there was even a official logo, I think.
Yeah.
There was some toys that were spoiled. And I'm pretty sure now if you probably go into Walmart right now, I guarantee you there's probably a Mechagodzilla toy.
Most likely. Yeah.
Which I'm glad I didn't go into Walmart before seeing this movie, because I guarantee you there's some Mechagodzilla toy. Now, one thing I want to point out about Mechagodzilla, though, is wasn't too keen on the design at first. Because he looked way too skinny.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like pretty scrawny. Like
It's a
I would have
skeleton.
liked to see it a bit beefier. But when you think about it, it doesn't really affect me that much because it's almost as if they're showing like the first model of Mechagodzilla in a way. And like the more you look, like in one of the scenes with where Mechagodzilla had the jet boosters, it kind of tells you that they were trying to go for a more linear design for him to move around faster.
And later, though, to me, he looks like he got a little more buffer, like maybe more of his armor came out, and maybe that's what it was. It looked a little buffer to me at a point. But this, like I said, this movie does not slow down at all. Like it starts out and Godzilla is attacking, like this tech company. I don't know if was the tech company, was that in the last movie in King of Monsters?
I don't remember there being an Apex company being in.
Well, he's attacking. Something there is triggering him. Like we don't know what's triggering him. Something's triggering him, and like it's making him come to that. Like it would make you think like maybe like it doesn't really show like where Godzilla's being. King Kong is. Well, you kind of don't. If you're not paying attention, you'll probably think, oh, he's Godzilla. King Kong is gonna turn to Kong, but then you're like, that's not where Kong is, and I don't know. That makes no sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. But no, like it's. When you find out later, they're building Mechagodzilla, and that's like attracting him and everything. And they're trying to basically be like, make Godzilla and to be a bad guy and all of that, and then want to be the big titan, even though like it's like the big corporate and like the corporate bad guy, like the whole he's really close from just being twirling mustache, tie a girl to a train tracks villain. Like, he's really close to being that type of villain. But, like, there's, like, you forget him. He's very forgettable. Yeah. But, like, obviously, like, there's not really a concrete villain, I guess you could say. Well, I guess Mechagodzilla, I guess. Yeah. There's a lot that's interesting about anything you want to add?
One thing that I really thought was interesting is how they basically, what's the word I'm looking for? They basically like hinted to the fact that they buffed King Kong for the movie. Like in the beginning of the movie, when they were like, he's gotten so big that we can't contain him, they were hinting to the fact that they had to buff King Kong in order to fight Godzilla for the movie.
Yeah, because definitely he was not as that tall. And from what I've seen from Kong Skull Island, he's not that tall, big. He's about. He's like maybe like 3 houses tall.
Yeah, and I for weeks and weeks, like me and a lot of my friends, we were like, you know, there's got to be like some sort of reference to like them buffing King Kong, and like I was so excited when I saw the scene like in the theaters. I like reached over and I was like, yo, this is they're talking about the buff.
And that was everyone's out of the problem. And if you aren't going to see the movie, you just want to know right now who is the winner. There's technically a winner and there's technically not. But if you want a concrete answer, if like you got to say one or the other, Godzilla won the fight. He's like beating the crap out of Kong and like, but then it's just like, man, you ain't worried about time. Let me get out of here.
Yeah, it's ultimately, in my opinion, like it's ultimately depends on what you consider a win. Like, do you consider a a Titan killing a Titan to win, do you consider a Titan beating a Titan and that other Titan?
And then they work together to defeat Godzilla and Kong, and they both go their separate ways. He goes back. Godzilla gets his new. Kong gets a new place. We don't know what happens to Godzilla. He just goes back into the water. So everybody knows they're both good guys. What does this franchise hold for the future? Well, I don't know, but that's all we got to say for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Peace.